all of the praises to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashim Rakah Pradash, double honors to the apostles of the Great Millstone, and salutations to the Akim out there that continue to further this ministry throughout the four corners of the earth. And shalom to those that are learning and listening and growing thereby. And I want to respond to this live hearing, which was once live, and I saw this video coming from the Apostle Arimlab, and exactly what happened during his hearing, what was called out were the Israelites concerning the topic of domestic terrorism. And I just got the thinking that the incident that happened at the Capitol Hill building, that event was to be caused so that eventually that event can be spoken about in this sort of setting here. And within that being the case, in this setting, in this hearing, they'll make mention of all of these groups, these different identity groups, Antifa as he's named, Black Lives Matter, and all of these different groups, including even on the Edomite side of things, you know. And the last group that was mentioned was the Hebrew Israelites. And when you understand Esau, see, Esau, the way Esau works is this. Esau will say a thing and he'll do the quite opposite as to what he just said. So being that we were mentioned last in this hearing, the Israelites, you better believe we were the main guys that they were watching, that they were looking for and trying to find ways on how they can pretty much put us in a box of those that are going to cause domestic terrorism, which we're not a terroristic people. All right. We know that if we act in result to the violence, we know we're going to get shut down quick, fast, because we don't have the power that the so-called Jews have, or the Amalekites have, for that matter. All right. We don't have the kind of power that they possess. So why would we want to rise up against them? But you see, they know that we're a non-violent group. They know this very well. The government, the federal government of the United States, so-called, I would say, because America is more divided than it's ever been before. They know that we're a non-violent group, and all we do is preach the Bible. That's all we do, you know. But their excuses is because we preach hate and things of that nature, according to them, which really what we're preaching is love, because we're preaching love for our people and that kind of sort of thing, you know. So I mean, I wouldn't call us a hate group, but if the truth is teaching hate, then I guess, well, they can say that, because according to this world, you know, truth is hate. All right. And that's the sad reality that we're living in right now, that the truth is now considered to be hateful. You see, so, but going back to the main reason as to why they want to move against us and all of these different groups, but mainly the Israelites, because we're going to be the ones upsetting their new world order. All right. And before they get this one world order in setting, they need to get rid of those that are running their mouths. They need to get rid of those that are just too quick in the mind and can comprehend things, basically smart, you know. So they need to get rid of people like that, because people like us will indeed upset their new world order in this, being that will pretty much stir up the minds of those that are followers of the powers that be. We're going to stir their minds up, and they're going to be drawn to following the right way and doing the right thing, and that's that goes against what they're trying to do. What we're saying and bringing out the truth, it goes against their narrative. They want to be the ones to run this whole entire world in totality and have complete power over the people. So that being the case, we got to get rid of these Israelite groups. And as far as going is to say this as well, what we preach, which is the truth, is that this society is going to be destroyed. The Lord is coming back to do A, B, and C. Okay? And they can't stand to hear that anymore. And now what I want to do is I want to get into the scriptures. And before I get into the scriptures, I also want to say this as well. this is the best thing that they can do for the men of the Lord, because we we look forward to the persecution, because we know through the persecution we know that Esau's done. This society's done. Once you get rid of the prophets, or once you persecute the prophets, that's a mean to an end for the so-called white man and the Amalekites at the very top. It's an end to their world. So we want them to do this, and simultaneously, not only is it the end of the world or their world, but it's the beginning of another one which followeth, and that's the world of our people, the Israelites. We're gonna come and rule next, and I want to go through these precepts, and you'll see exactly what I'm saying here. As brothers have already did response to this video, but this is where I'm coming from with this video, and I want to express, my part on my angle as to why, this is a beautiful thing. But anyway, let's read Matthew 5, verse, I believe it's verse 10, excuse me. Matthew 5, verse 10, it says, "Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so persecuted they the prophets which were before you." So what was said here, what Yahweh Shai said, is to rejoice and be exceedingly glad. Not just be glad, but be exceedingly glad. Why? Because we have a reward, and our reward is the kingdom of heaven, to be rulers, to be sitting on thrones in the kingdom of the Most High himself. Now that's something to be glad for, but we know in order for us to get to that side, we have to go through the persecution. As Paul mentioned to his disciples, that through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom of heaven. And Esau is going to pretty much pave the way for that. Esau is going to be the one to give us the tribulation that we have to go through the will and power of Yahweh Shai Shai. And even though they don't want to do it themselves, the Lord is going to allow them to do it anyway. The Lord is going to allow them to go for the persecution, because it's written. Okay, it's written. Now, they may have an agenda as to why they want to get rid of the Israelites and all of these different groups. But that thought that's in their mind, or that reason that's in their mind, that's the why they want to move against us, the Most High put that in their mind so that prophecy can be fulfilled, so that we can go through what we got to go through and get to the other side of the world, because another world is coming. And this is just the beginning of it. So every time they do hearings or they talk about the Israelites in a negative light, as always, it's just a means to an end of their world. It just means that we're very close to the ending of this civilization. All right? And that's all this devil is doing. All he's doing is bringing an end to himself when he brings an end to the prophets. Psalms 9, let's begin and read. Psalms 9, verse 15. "The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made, and the net which they hide is their own foot taken." Exactly. Now let's go down a verse. Verse 16. "The Lord is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands." Haggai and Salah. "The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all nations that forget the Most High." So eventually, when they come up against the prophets, there's going to be miracles that will be seen. And many things are going to happen, actually. You're going to have ones of the brethren that believe in this truth. They're going to receive some form of power from on high, what we call spiritual power. And then you're going to have the ones of us that are going to be tried, and then somehow, some way, something's going to happen where we're going to escape, just like what happened to Peter, as you can read in the book of, I believe is in the book of Acts 12, right? And then you're going to have certain brothers that are literally going to be put to death for the sake of the Lord. But as it reads in the scripture, it says the dead in Yahweh Shai shall rise first, and their works do follow them. So whether you are saved or whether you're put to death, we're going to be saved regardless, and we're going to be pretty much brought to our Father, and our Father's going to change us, and we're going to be in the kingdom of heaven, dominating over those that have persecuted us. You see, this is where this is all going. So, are we to be afraid? Are we to be scared? No, we're to be exceedingly glad, as Yahushua put it. Bottom line in the story. So that's all I got to really say on this. And one last precept that I want to read as well. I want to read this. It says, "But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of the Most High, and there shall no torment touch them. And their going from us verse 2. In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery." Exactly. That's what it's going to look like. Oh, yeah, we got these guys. Yeah, we got y'all in prison. Yeah, we got y'all in the concentration camp. Well, we're killing them now. Okay. So it's going to seem like they're literally getting rid of the men of the Most High, and that means that they've gotten rid of the Most High, because this society is of the Most High at all. This society is of the contrary, which is Satan. So they're going to believe to themselves, oh yeah, we got these little Negroes wearing robes out of the way, so we're good, we're straight. But no. Verse 3, "And their going from us is to be utter destruction, but they are in peace." Why are they in peace? Verse 4, "For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet there is hope full of immortality. And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For the Most High proved them, and found them worthy of himself. As gold in the furnace had he tried them, and received them as a burnt offering. And in the time of their visitation shall they shine, and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. They shall judge the nations, and have dominion over the people, and their Lord shall reign forever." Exactly. That's the end result of the righteous going through their little chastisement. The end result is going to lead to us being rulers. All right? Because the Most High, the power that we serve, is a power like none other. It's a power that can do unspeakable things that the carnal mind, the human brain cannot even deal with. And the same way Yahushua was risen from the dead is the same way Yahushua can rise us from the dead. Okay? When he comes back. And guess what? Those that died in him shall be risen first. You see? And all of these individuals that have persecuted us, they're going to be persecuted as well as. But this time we're going to be persecuting them and put them into slavery and their whole entire race. That's where it's all going, baby boy. So, hey, man, I give the Most High a clap. All right? Because, yeah, it's going to get ugly. But we got to believe furthermore in Yahushua, man. And know that basically this is the end. This is the end. So that's all I got to say. Shalom.